Hey everyone, I'm back on the 286 machine here. And grab myself a screwdriver and get this thing back open. So one of the biggest problems with this machine, like all of these, is the fact the CMOS keeps losing its battery power. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say battery power, but more like CMOS memory, because there is no battery power. So all these machines, like your modern one, of course need a CMOS battery in order to retain the time, drive information, just stuff like that. And one of the annoying things with these machines is, especially ones this old, oh gosh, this case, the fact that you have to keep putting the drive information back in every time the machine's off for more than 5 minutes. You also have to configure your floppy drives, just stuff like that. So yeah, it can make it just a little bit frustrating, more just tedious to keep putting those settings in every time the machine sits. So yeah, I got some stuff and we're gonna change that. So what I've got is some of these cheap AliExpress type cables. I'm just gonna double check which one's ground. You won't be able to see it because I've just realized my polarizer's on. There we go, you can see my multimeter. Direct line to ground. So yeah, what I want to do is check to make sure to see if this is a charging circuit. If it's a charging circuit, I need to use rechargeable batteries, but if it's not, I can get away with using just a plain old AA holder. So the latter is what I'm hoping to use. So get my power here. Make sure everything's all good. We'll turn the machine on and see if it charges. Okay, so we've got a post beep. As you can see, well, there you go. As you can see, it's producing 0 volts, which does tell me that this here is just a non-charging circuit, so it's going to want 3 to 4 volts. Yeah, just to keep the time and date and stuff like that. Okay, so to do the job, I just picked up one of these cheapo 3 AA holders. I wanted one with a cover. Yeah, I couldn't find one, so I stuck with just a really nice looking 3 AA holder. But yeah, wires are pre-soldered. So what I'm going to do is, I haven't got my autofocus on. There we go. If it's gonna work, there we go. What I'm going to do is literally just solder it to the cables that I had just before, which is just this guy here, and join it up, and then yeah, throw some batteries in it, and hopefully that keeps the date and time and the computer happy. I really do need to get myself a proper silicone mat or something. So pretty easy. Just gonna pre-tin some of these wires. And that should make getting the heat shrink on a bit nicer too. Okay, here's my battery holder. What I can kind of do is just line the wires up. You can either twist them together as well. But go old school. Looking good. The only thing I don't like about these, which I just remembered now, is they seem to clamp too hard down on the wire, and I have put heat shrink tubing over the little teeth and jaws just to try and stop it from clamping too hard on the wire. Just, I don't know, it just doesn't look very good. Cool, and that is done. Ideally you would have a heat gun, but I don't own one, so just a little bit of heat. Perfect. Not melted, not burned, and a nice solid connection. Alright, well, it wouldn't be a CMOS BIOS backup battery without a Vata battery going in. So what I'm going to do is just load it up. Each of these are 1.5 volts. And we can test how much voltage they're outputting. Okay, 4.44 volts. It might be a little bit high, but you know what? Let's just YOLO it. Yeah, the other option that I go with is a cordless phone battery. This is what I put in my 386, and that is a 3.6 volt. If I can get this to, there you go. That charges up to 3.6 volt at 1000 milliamps. So yeah, that's another option if your machine supports charging, well, has a charging circuit for the battery, because this is a rechargeable phone battery. Since this one does not, I'm gonna try my hand at one of these. The one thing I am going to do is maybe just put some electrical tape around this. I just don't like these contacts being exposed. Don't know where I got this from, but I've got this really nice roll of 3M tape. And all I'm going to do is just wrap this around here like so. Nothing fancy, I just want to stop these contacts just being exposed. And yes, this will just kind of peel off as it ages out. There we go. Just makes me feel a bit better. Also adds some strain relief to these wires. I am thinking of putting this in here, just inside where the CD drive is. All right, let's plug it in, making sure our Positive and negative is correct. Ideally you'd have like a plug. There we go. So there is the CMOS solution. In fact, actually I could just get away with just literally just sitting it in the bottom. And for that, I have another solution, which this is actually thermal transfer tape. So you can use it on heat sinks. I have so much of it, and I bought it for one CPU. In fact, I need scissors for that. But yeah, I've had so much of this stuff just sitting around. I've worked out it's really good for sticking things like this down. So I'll put a bit in the bottom. And in fact, what I'm going to do is flip this over and just put a little square of it just on the back. Like so. Fun part's always peeling the bastard. Alright, the machine has its new CMOS battery pack in, so now what I'm going to do is plug it in. We're going to set up some CMOS settings, hope the machine doesn't explode. I've got to configure floppy drive A and B as well as the hard drive, date and time. We'll set all of that up. Then I'm going to turn the machine off, run off for 5 minutes, probably finish doing my washing, things like that. Maybe 10. Come back and we'll see if, yeah, it's retained the settings and hopefully win. If not, well, that's all I got for that. I'll probably end up in the bin. Batteries feel good, nothing is hot. I'll turn that on. We'll turn that on. And yeah, we'll set up some BIOS settings. Let's see if we can set the date and time, why not? So the 3rd of the 23rd, 2024, geez, this poor BIOS is gonna be like, holy crap, what year am I in? Okay, so the time is 4:49 PM, 16:49. Sure, we'll just make it 50. So when that ticks over, there we go. Memory's already detected, so we'll do drive A as a 1.4 and drive B is a 1.44 meg. There are 1 fixed discs. The annoying thing with this BIOS is there's no option to create your own disk type, like enter your cylinders and heads and things like that. Cool. We'll reboot. Okay, so yeah, nothing's hot. What I'm going to do now is we're just going to turn the machine off. We've got our disk drives all set up, date, time, things like that. Cool, it's showing the correct date. Tuesday 12th of March, time's correct. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll turn it all off and see if it retains the settings. Okay, 10 minutes has passed, it's 5 o'clock. Let's turn it on and see what happens. I use the time wisely, not only to put my clothes in the dryer ready to go, but picking out the napkin from the washing machine that I'd left in my pocket. So yeah, adult things. But fancy. I think what I'm going to do is put the lid on, and then I'm going to leave it for another half hour and just double check to make sure that that battery is actually doing something. But yeah, that's great. Look at that. It went straight into the operating system, which it didn't do before. If I open up Windows, hopefully it has the correct date and time and stuff. 1700 hours, and gosh, that drawing. Yeah, that is correct. I'd say we're good. The real-time clock is doing its job. It's got something on board, I think, for that. Yeah, I don't quite understand it because it's got a real-time clock, but there's no, I don't know. I'm used to just seeing like a Dulles chip or, you know, something like that. But yeah, I don't think this one's actually got one. So we'll get the lid back on it, which is always easy on this particular case. I think I actually need to turn the machine around. Or maybe I've got its quirks. Worked out. All right. Well, yeah, that is it. Yeah, nothing too crazy today. Just battery in there, just so I don't have to keep putting in the CMOS settings every time. That's the signal for settings. Every time I get the machine out, want to use it. I mean, it's not really a pain. It was just because I was in another city where I can get those parts, so I thought, you know, why not grab the little adapter and a spare battery and then just swap it out, fit some stuff into it. But yeah, now my collection, it's really good. I've got a 286, 386, 486, Pentium 1, Pentium 2, and Pentium 3, and a Pentium 4. I seem to be just kind of going up. Oh, and also the Athlon XP machines, kind of like a nice gap between Pentium 3 and 4. Yeah, I'll have to do something sometime with something newer, which if you've seen anything in the back of my videos behind me, I've got quite a few parts ready to go for something a bit newer. But anyway, that's a job for another day and that I have been putting off. Well, not putting off, but haven't had time to do for the past couple of years, so I need to get around to it. Alrighty, we'll catch you guys soon, and thanks for watching, and hopefully, well, that helps someone get out of a pinch if you need ideas for replacement CMOS batteries. Alrighty, catch you guys soon.